Okay. I'm not sure what happened here. All right. Either way, we're live. We're back live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Hi everybody. It's so good to be here. Um, it's been a couple. It's been like a week, I think, since I was live. Um, Let me see if I can adjust. Maybe I just turn it off. Yeah, I don't think I need it. So we're not gonna use that. I don't think we need it. I think we're good. I think we're good. Hi, so welcome to my live. It's Dan Franklin. I am a media literacy specialist, or I even go by just that media literacy guy. What I do is I help you decipher through all the noise to know what's actually true so that you're not engaging in, fake information or sensationalized, either pop culture, even some news things that I talk about. And yeah, I'm just fun. I'm cool. We just chat. But on my lives, what I do is just connect with you one-on-one. Just having a conversation about the latest pop culture things that are going on. And I give my opinion because a lot of times on the videos that I post here on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, I'm really sticking to the facts around the story. I'm not gonna go too much into my opinion, especially in the time allowed it for the videos. I kind of share the story, and then we discuss the topic in the comments, and I'll elaborate more so there about what I think. And if I do share my opinion, I'll let you know like this is my opinion versus this is what is going on with that particular story. All right, so I do want to talk about a couple of things that are buzzing in the news cycle today. And the first thing is obviously Cardi B's big announcement. So for most of us, we have been, none of us are shocked to hear that Cardi B is pregnant. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Make sure that you guys like the video. That helps. It's a free way to support my channel. I really appreciate you guys. So we found out that Cardi B is pregnant. A lot of us knew Cardi B was pregnant for a long time, based off, when she was in court and what she was wearing, the guy she's been dating. There's been rumors and speculations for months that she was pregnant. Even Offset a few weeks ago, I didn't report on it because I didn't have time to really verify everything, but Offset mentioned that she was pregnant and that she was pregnant by her boyfriend, the football player. Let me see, I have a comment there. Awesome, thank you so much. Okay, can you be moderator? Let me see. I don't know how to add moderator. Okay. I think I made you the moderator. I'm not sure. Okay, I think I made you a moderator. So, awesome. Thank you so much for your help. I am doing well, you guys. So, I'm doing really well, actually. Like I said, I'm just getting in. I actually went to Miami this weekend. It was a lot of fun. Well, I was in Fort Lauderdale. It was my cousin's birthday, and we typically go out on the boat. We went to this sandbar in North Miami Beach, also known as Hollover Beach. It was fun. It was chill. We drank. We hung out. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm growing it, so I appreciate all the help that I can get, you guys. I appreciate it. But back to Cardi B. So my thoughts on this. We've known Cardi B was pregnant for a while. Out of respect for her, I honestly didn't want to report on it too much. When a woman's pregnant, especially in those first few months, it's very, anything can happen. And so it's best not to speak on it. So I respect when a woman, even if she's a celebrity, says, hey, I don't want to talk about it right now. Now, the things I do want to talk about, it's her fourth child. So it's not saying she can't, but she has an album coming out. I think it came out today, or it's coming out anytime now. Her album's coming out or is out. She's going on tour in February. She did not give her due date, so it's somewhere before February. I don't know how she's going to do all that. I'm not saying she can't. That's a lot to deal with. Being a new mom, having other kids, going on tour. Could she be being ambitious about what she's capable of actually doing? I don't know. We'll just have to see. Yeah, and so the name of the tour is Little Miss Drama Tour, and it's in February. So the dates were announced yesterday. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if I'm a huge Cardi B fan. I'm not going to lie. Do I like Cardi B? Yeah, I think Cardi B is entertaining. But sounds nice. Got it. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how she balances being a mom, a new mom. I think it's a little much. I think that even though she's done it before, a lot of people said, well, she's done it before. I think when she had Culture, it's when her album launched. But I'm like, yeah, that was like 7 years ago. She has 4 kids now. We're all older than we were 7 years ago. So we'll see. I wish her well. I hope that she does do a lot, does well with her launch of her new album, but we'll see. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about, Malcolm-Jamal Warner's mother speaks out. Her name is Pamela Warner. Oh, my mom's name is Pamela. And she talked about what it was like when her son passed. The reason I think this is important is there was a lot of rumors and speculation online about Malcolm's passing and that it was all a conspiracy. I swear, I think people that have no critical thinking skills, they create like whatever to deal with like reality. They can't. People die every day. Like people drown all the time. Just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean you're not going to drown, and just because you're a celebrity and you drown doesn't mean it's a conspiracy. But I digress. Anyway, the people were saying he drowned because of some conspiracy. I have no idea why he would drown because of a conspiracy. But I knew then that it was an accidental drowning. And but what she talks about in this interview is how once he passed, she literally travailed to the point like she lives in a cul-de-sac, and the people at the top of the block could hear her. So I was really touched or moved by the thought of a mother losing their child and what that must have been like. I mean, I don't have a kid. I'm not a mother, clearly. And so I can only imagine what she went through and how she felt. And I feel really bad for her about that. But that was interesting hearing her share that. If you guys can hold on just a sec, I want to put some chapstick on, if I can find it. I probably can't find it. Oh, hold on. There we go. It went under my desk. She takes out the entire water. Okay. So, okay, the next thing that I want to say about that was the fact that, and thank you guys so much for the likes. I really appreciate it. So the next thing I want to say about that, I don't know what it's like to have a kid. So I can only imagine. And when she said that, it made me think of the Bible, where it talks about a woman travailing. So it's kind of similar to that. Like she travailed in pain of the news of losing her son. But she really does put to rest a lot of the rumors, a lot of the speculation, a lot of the, made up, there were people saying like, oh, he didn't drown. And, it was just weird. Some of the things that were out there. I mean, a lot of people sensationalize things because it gets you engagement. I'm actually going to talk about that. A lot of people lie online because you get more engagement from lying. Like, if you're honest and just moderate, like a normal person, it's like people don't care. So these people that rage bait, lie, or exacerbate stories, they get more attention. And so it almost encourages that type of behavior because they're getting more attention. So, I mean, I don't blame them. But yeah, man, it's sad to see that people kind of ran with that narrative, and she is there trying to clear that up. I do want to say that she does mention that the reason that he was there was because his daughter, I'm sorry, was in a program, and I guess that was like the last week of that particular program, and that was the week that the fathers came. He was swimming with a friend or one of the other fathers in that program, and that's when the rip current happened. Because he wasn't as experienced, he wasn't able to know what to do in a rip current. The other gentleman did, who survived, and he passed away. She says she believes that was, his time to go, and you just have to respect that. I mean, I agree with her. I feel like I think it's a scripture, but it is a scripture, but it says there's a time and season for everything. So we all have a time to live and we have a time to die, and whether or not that's her way of coping with the loss of her child, I think it's sound wisdom for everybody is that sometimes we overthink someone's passing till we almost create, all these different things to cope instead of just accepting the fact that it just was their time and it's life. And I'm glad that that's where she's at, because to me, that's a really healthy place for her to be in order to heal and move forward and really celebrate his life. If she spends her energy trying to figure out the why and if something, it's hard to kind of heal and move forward and just be present to the gift of that person's life. Hey, you guys, if you can, just like my video. It's a free way to support my video. I really appreciate you guys coming in here. Sorry, what was I going to say next? But yeah, she highlights his life and his talent. I mean, he was a talented person, and it sounds like he just was a great human being. And it was just a tragedy. I mean, period. So next, I do want to talk about Saweetie, the rapper, mentioning the fact that she feels like the reason, and I think this is complete bullshit, she's claiming that the reason she's not being, her career is falling off in the music industry is due to pretty privilege. I'm gonna give her a moment's silence. That's crazy to me, okay? Do I believe in pretty privilege? Of course I do. Or looks, I mean, we all do. I mean, we all have things about us that open doors for us and things like that. So, of course, if someone's attractive, that's going to open more doors for them than someone that's not attractive. But at the end of the day, she has to be talented. And I think the thing with Saweetie is she's not talented. Let's be honest. I mean, she had a few songs that were catchy. Her biggest song was a song that had a sample on it from a song that was really popular, which, gave her already a little boost as far as the song doing well. But outside of that, there was nothing else. And think about it, 2 or 3 years ago when Saweetie came out, maybe longer, I think it's been like 5 years, it was before the pandemic, that was that surge of female rappers, and it was still very fresh. So I think the City Girls were out, Nicki, of course, was out, Meg was starting to become popular out of Houston. It wasn't as competitive. I mean, now it's way more competitive. And so if you don't have that extra talent, you're not going to stay relevant in the industry. So, I think her pretty privilege opened the door, but it wasn't enough to sustain her in the industry. Because you got to be pretty and be talented to compete in a competitive market. So, oh well, Saweetie, thanks for the couple songs, and maybe you can pivot into another part of, hey, how you doing? Welcome. Maybe you can pivot into another, space in the entertainment arena, but I don't think Saweetie was ever that talented. She was the flavor of the month, and then she kind of burnt out. Next, Damon Dash's interview on The Breakfast Club. Oh my God. Let me tell you, watching this was like listening to my old uncle, our old brother who wanted to be a rapper, and they just can't get over the fact that their time has come and gone. I am a millennial, so I remember when, Rock Nation was big and Damon Dash and Rockaware and all that. I was around during that whole time, and they were the it people, Big Pimpin' was a huge song, and, Jay-Z was the guy back then. Whether you like Jay-Z or not, he was always on in the top 10 music, videos and things like that. So you were seeing Jay-Z everywhere. My issue is after, I don't know, it's been almost 20 years, Damon Dash is still one complaining about the fact that of what happened with Roc Nation and with Rockefeller. And he's still literally like out here talking crazy about everything. And I think he's not able to accept the fact that he's just not probably as brilliant of an entrepreneur as he thinks he is. And that's okay. I think that even myself as an entrepreneur, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, you're going to fail. The whole point is you grow, you learn from your failures. And I just don't think Damon has been willing to acknowledge the fact that he has failed and that he's not been able to pivot or like move in a better, a more effective, more effective direction than his counterparts. Mainly, Jay-Z. While he's still talking and doing the same things that he was doing back when he was with Jay-Z, like some of the tactics that you hear about, Jay-Z's moved on. Jay-Z is a billionaire. He's been able to evolve as a mogul, and Damon Dash just hasn't. Period. So what my thoughts are about Damon Dash? One, so I verified this, but Lauren on the show on The Breakfast Club, she already reached out. So he claimed that he was the chairman of Revolt. Lauren on The Breakfast Club debunked that by contacting a publicist from Revolt who said this is not true. He then doubled down on his Instagram, posting that this was true to the point that Revolt had to put out a statement saying that this is not true. That's embarrassing. Whether or not he wanted to come on there and have like some type of win to celebrate, it would have been better if he would have just talked about the lessons he's learned, given the experiences that at the end of the day, he's an amazing story. You don't have to get on here and lie or embellish on like the things that you're doing or things that you haven't done or think you want to do. People are going to trust but verify. People are going to verify what you're saying anyway. So I just don't understand why would he get on a large platform like that and say he's the chairman at Revolt, like we couldn't verify it as soon as he said it out of his mouth. That's crazy. It's just, I think he's stuck in a mindset. Also, all of the rhetoric calling Charlemagne effeminate, emasculating him online in the interview, calling him gay. One, it's weird when a heterosexual man is worried about whether or not a man is gay. That's weird to me. Whether or not Charlemagne is gay, what does it matter to the conversation? Do I think Charlemagne is gay? No, but why is that even being talked about in this? Like, that's weird. I'll give you an example. I remember when I was in high school, when I came out in high school, right? And I decided to tell people because they kept asking me. They were like, I think I was in the 10th grade, and guys would come to me, girls and guys. They would be like, hey, I heard you were gay, because I was hanging out with this guy who was openly gay in school. And I finally was like sick of people asking me. I was like, yeah, I'm gay. Why do you care? And some people had visceral reactions to that. And then some people wanted to fight me over it, and some people didn't even care. I always wonder, like, why would you care if I'm gay? Like, why does it matter to you? And so I still don't understand an adult man that's concerned about someone being gay unless he's interested in, like, I don't know, are you trying to, like, I don't know. It's weird. So I didn't understand that tactic. I get it. Charlemagne's a douchebag. That's a part of, like, what makes him Charlemagne the God. That's part of what made his show so popular. But, like, to sit there and talk about him being gay is just weird as fuck. And it didn't land for me. I don't know. Maybe some other people thought it was cool. I didn't think anything was cool about that. I was just like, why does he care if he's gay? Damon Dash is a mobile who has several lawsuits. He's been in trouble for not paying child support. Like, bro, worry about being all the man you could be as a father. Like, why are you worried about whether or not this guy is gay or not? It just was weird. Now, Charlemagne was calling him broke, which I think was a trigger. You know, he wanted to prove, you know, sometimes people want to like establish their superiority by showing like how much money they have. And so I definitely think that Damon was triggered or was concerned of that he was going to look like a failure. Let's be honest. Damon has done all this talking for years about how this person screwed him over and this person screwed him over. Listen, anyone in business has been screwed over once or twice. You learn from it. What it's starting to look like is Jay-Z saw the writing on the wall, meaning Jay-Z was doing business with him. Jay-Z was developing his mindset. Us at different stages realize that they were going. You're going from a business perspective, from a developmental perspective, even from your social capital, that person can't go because they don't know how to pivot. They don't know how to transition to that next phase. They still want to live like, you know, nigga, I made it in the hood type of shit. Like not, all right, now we want to go to this level and we got to move and act a certain way and we've got to grow outside of where we come from. I feel like Jay-Z figured that out a long time ago. I mean, it's evident in how he has built his career. Dash was like, you know, on some like shit like, nah, in my opinion. And Jay-Z said, man, you're not going to hold me back. And he got from around him. So listen, say what you want. People can sit there and lie and try to like, you know, reframe reality. But over time, people will show you who they are and who that person. And I'm not, listen, am I sitting there saying that a billionaire is the most ethical person? No way. I don't think Jay-Z's the most ethical businessman. I'm sure he's done a lot of shit to get to where he's at. But it speaks to the fact that clearly he knew that he couldn't get there with this man beside him. And he got rid of him. And at this point, Damon, if he had the business acumen, could have developed himself. Like, to me, if you're still talking about what you could have done and should have done that long ago and you haven't pivot, bro, the world, it's not even the same world anymore. You're talking about a whole like 2 decades ago. And you're still stuck in that space because you were stuck there. It had already shifted and you didn't even catch it. The industry was changing why he was in it and he didn't even catch it. And then Jay-Z went on about his business. He's still talking about it. And people that have worked with Damon Dash since have had similar experiences to why Jay-Z, who hasn't really talked about it publicly, how people speculated why he stopped working with them, because he was a liability. He was a liability to where Jay-Z was going. And so Jay-Z said, you gotta go. Is it loyalty? No, but it is what it is. It's business. Also, then he apparently mentioned, he talked about, you know, Claudia Jordan. Claudia has clapped back. I did a video on that. I don't think I was able to post it on YouTube yet. But Claudia Jordan comes back at him. She basically calls him out for being inappropriate with her while they were working on a film. She called him, you know, pretty much just basically said, bro, you're a loser, you're washed up. He tried to manipulate some things to this film they were working on, take credit that he didn't have any involvement in terms of the film. And she just talked about like this, you know, his repeated financial failings and that he's just a swindler. You know, he's full of shit. And she said, keep his name out of his mouth. And if you guys don't know, his teeth fell out when he went live once. And so that came back up. And she was like, hey, you know, if you can prove to me that I said that you were the best producer, or I think a producer I ever worked with, I'll pay for your teeth to be fixed. So Claudia went in. I don't think he realized, anybody that watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you would know that Claudia Jordan knows how to read Nene for filth. And Nene was one of the ones on that show who was always reading people. And Claudia ate Nene up. So I'm not shocked that Claudia went in on him like that. Tread lightly, my brother, when you're dealing with a woman who hangs around a bunch of gay boys, because she didn't come to play. And she let him know. She let him know. So anyway, there's a video on that. But Damon is just an old ass, washed up ass old man who's like stuck in the generation where his knees worked well. And it's like, bro, if he's not, like, that dude's probably almost like 60. Like, grow the fuck up, move on, quit talking about the past, and create some new wins for yourself. You know, don't come online lying about what you're doing, because guess what? We're going to verify it. And if it ain't right, it ain't right. And we're going to call you out for it. And that's what happened to him. You can't do what you did 2 decades ago. Times are changing. All right, my next thing is Monique. I'm so goddamn tired of Monique. If you don't know who Monique is, she's an actress, mainly a comedian, who won an Oscar for her depiction of a single mother in the movie Precious. And she has been harassing the fuck out of all of us since, because she did not like the way Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels handled, I guess, the and prep for the Oscars, like all the promo they do for the Oscars, you know, all the campaigning they do. This lady is still talking about this to this day. People have died. We have had pandemics, hurricanes, presidencies, insurrections, and this lady is still talking about this shit. Monique, we don't care anymore. We don't care. We don't care if you don't like Oprah. She basically in this interview states, I'm not going to let my neck off of Oprah and him. She also calls Tyler Perry her sister because of the alleged, you know, lawsuits he has from his employees stating that he was inappropriate towards them. Girl, hush. Don't nobody care. I don't care. It's boring to even talk about. Like, go get help and leave us alone and go talk to daddy about your grievances with with Oprah and Tyler. Tyler has his own problems, honey, with these lawsuits. And Oprah is enjoying her retirement and her billionaire status and not paying you no damn mind. Oprah probably can't even hear you. She probably bought software to block anything from you talking to her, and so she could care less. And I'm going to ask her to go ahead and give me that. Exactly, who cares? I'm going to ask Oprah to go ahead and send me that software as well. Okay, Nick Cannon. Ciao. Nick Cannon talks about the difficulties that he's starting to realize of having 12 kids. Well, damn, we told you that. I remember people telling Nick Cannon, you know, are being concerned about why he has so many kids and him justifying it. And people saying, like, it's not realistic to parent. There's one thing to have a baby, right? Anybody can have a baby. But to parent another human being is a whole nother conversation. How do you parent 12 kids in all these different homes and the way you work and everyone's geographically in different areas? Like, it's not realistic. And sometimes people they think we're like, you know, be like, oh, you're hating on me. I know what I'm doing. Like, people are giving you sound advice and you're ignoring them because you want to do what you want to do. Well, now deal with the consequences. So, you know, he claims that the reason he did this or had this many kids was due to unresolved trauma that he had. I mean, duh. That's what we're trying to tell you before. But you wanted to lay it low and spread it wide. So now you hope you have frequent flyer miles and all of that. Yeah, and just be prepared for some kids to say you weren't there for them, because it's just not even possible to be there for that many kids. I mean, there are kids that grew up in the same house with two parents. I mean, I come from a huge family. My grandparents had 8 kids that they raised together. And that's a whole conversation about how this one felt this way or da-da-da-da-da. So it's just like, you really think you're going to raise 12 kids in all these different homes and it's going to work? Like, bruh, please. Anyway, next. I have good news to report. Well, it's kind of good news. It's an update about Lil Nas X. So Lil Nas X did not show up to court. That's bad news, but he had representation. His attorney was there, but it was because he's in a rehab. Okay? One of the things that I said when the whole Nas X thing came out, although, we were all talking about it, was sensationalized because he was walking around the nude and he was allegedly under some type of influence and he went to jail. Truthfully, from my heart, I was like worried about him, and I was like, okay, it sounds like the kid's gotten into drugs or was drugged and he needs help. I always say that was an opportunity for him to, and it still is. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. He could either go this way or that way, Drugs are not anyone's friends unless they're prescribed by your doctor. It's like your plan of care. But like, I just saw him going down a really dark road, and I'm really happy he's in rehab. I hope it works for him. I hope he gets help. So he can focus on his talent and what he wants to do in the industry, because I think he's talented. And, this is an opportunity for him to pivot. So we'll see what he does. But well wishes to Lil Nas X. And yeah. Okay, wait. I think that's it that I want to talk about today. Yeah, there was a lot going on. There's also, like, it's breaking kind of now. I think her name is, I forget her name, but it was a little girl that was, like, on the Dr. Phil show that was, like, Catch Me Outside. Apparently, she's been, I've heard of it before. She's, like, in some toxic relationship, and there's video now out about her being on top of his car, and she's claiming claiming all this abuse and how she tried to stay with him. It's all over the blogs right now, mainly the I am that guy. What guy am I? I remember. Sure. I don't remember. I don't know who you are, so I can't say if I am. But yeah. But anyway, she's on there now talking about the fact that she's been abused, which I'm not discrediting. I think obviously something's going on with her. I think because she's so polarizing, I don't know how much sympathy she's going to get, but I'm going to check out that, see what's going on. I might do a video on it if I think it's, Dr. Phil. No, I was not on Dr. Phil. Sorry. And I'm not Dr. Phil. But yeah, like, I'll look into that and I may do a video. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm growing the channel. I hope to get back on live probably tomorrow, and probably doing some other live segments. I think about doing a late night video. So I'm typically up late. So I'm thinking about doing late nights with Dan and doing a live and kind of talking about pop culture stuff. We'll see. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the love and support. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the video, or if there's any topics that you want to hear about, and I can verify them for you. Don't forget to follow me on my socials, verified by Dann Franklin, or verified by Dan on Instagram as well as TikTok, verified by Dan F on Facebook, and it's Dan with 2 N's. But again, I love you guys for watching. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye. Say bye, Maddie. She says it's time for me to play with her toy. All right, I'm going to show you guys. Oh, sorry, I grabbed the thing. This is her toy. Go get it. She's so good.